Imagine having a superpower where the gap between an idea and the first step is less than 5 minutes. You don't freeze in front of a blank page. You don't spend hours Googling how to start, and you don't wait for the perfect mood. You just act. Every ambitious thought that enters your mind immediately takes shape in reality. The world sees your projects, hears your voice, and admires results that have become second nature to you. If this image feels natural to you, you're likely already at the top. Если этот сценарий звучит как недосягаемая магия, if this scenario sounds like unattainable magic, even though deep down you know you're capable of that and more, congratulations. You have a classic high IQ, and that is precisely what has become your greatest prison. You've become a hostage to your own intellect, a mind that has learned to masterfully dismantle your potential before it ever takes flight. Today, we're breaking down the 5 strange habits of high-intelligence individuals that keep you trapped in a world of shadows. And we'll answer the ultimate question: how do you finally get your powerful brain to work for your reality instead of against it? Habit number 1, intellectual procrastination. This is a trap that only the most brilliant minds fall into. A high IQ brain loves the process of learning because, for it, it's the cheapest way to get a dopamine hit. You buy your 5th course on the subject, subscribe to your 10th expert channel, and read 3 books in a row, convincing yourself that you're preparing. But here's the secret. Your brain is simply simulating activity to avoid the fear of real action. It feeds you the illusion of progress while you're standing perfectly still. Psychologists call this active procrastination. You're endlessly polishing a tool that you'll never actually use to build anything. The second habit is the flawless draft syndrome. The higher your intelligence, the more detailed and grandiose the final picture is in your head. You see your future project as a flawless masterpiece. And when you face reality, where your first step will inevitably be crooked, clumsy, and imperfect, your brain panics. For a high IQ individual, being a beginner who makes mistakes is a direct blow to the very core of their identity. So you choose to remain an, quote, unrecognized genius in your thoughts, rather than a, quote, recognized failure in reality. You kill your ideas before they're even born, simply because they can't be perfect from day one. But why does your mind force you to look for the most complex path when you just need to start walking? Habit number 3, the search for the perfect route. Your high IQ allows you to see not just one path to a goal, but 100. And instead of just taking a step, you freeze, trying to calculate the shortest, most efficient, and safest one. You spend weeks comparing software, choosing methodologies, or searching for that one perfect strategy. This is intellectual arrogance. Your brain thinks it's too smart to walk the common thorny path of trial and error. But while you're building a flawless 3D map of the terrain in your head, those who were just looking at their feet have already traveled half the distance. Your thirst for efficiency has become your greatest inefficiency. Habit number 4, prenatal defeat. You kill an idea before anyone but you even knows it exists. The moment a bold plan is born, your brain, like a superpowered computer, launches a simulation of the future. It calculates every risk, every potential criticism, every economic shift, and every probability of failure. And since nothing in the real world is ever 100% guaranteed, your simulation always returns an error. You abandon action because you've already lived the experience in your head and decided it's not worth the trouble. You've become so good at predicting difficulties that you've stripped yourself of the right to win. You are living in a world where everything is already decided, never giving reality a chance to surprise you. The 5th habit is intellectual isolation. High IQ individuals often fall into the trap of their own correctness. Because you're used to being the smartest person in the room, you stop trusting the opinions of others, and even reality itself, if it contradicts your calculations. You don't go to the meeting, you don't ask for advice, and you don't delegate tasks because no one will do it as perfectly as I envisioned. In the end, you find yourself in the golden cage of your own superiority. You have the deepest thoughts and the most accurate theories, but absolutely zero influence on the outside world. You've become an expert on how things should be, but you've stopped being the person who actually makes them happen. The tragedy of a high IQ is that it gives you an illusion of control over the future. You feel special because you see complexities that others overlook. But that feeling? It's poison. It convinces you that you are above the routine, above simple, mediocre actions. You spend years waiting for a challenge worthy of your intellect, while those you considered less capable are building real careers and relationships, simply because they weren't afraid to look stupid. You are living in a perpetual demo version of your potential, terrified to hit the start button and face a world where your IQ isn't a guarantee of success, but just starting capital you're too afraid to spend. But how much longer can your inner genius ignore the fact that life isn't a chess match, it's a contact sport? So, what do you do about it? The first thing you must recognize is this: your high IQ isn't a curse. It's a racing car that you've kept in the garage for years because you're afraid to scratch the paint. You don't need to lower your standards or become dumber. You need to learn to trust reality more than your own calculations. Stop waiting for the moment when risk disappears. It doesn't exist in the game of life, only in intellectual puzzles. Start implementing the rough draft action rule. If your brain paints a perfect finale, force yourself to take the most primitive, clumsy first step. Write one awkward page. Make one uncomfortable call. Publish a post that feels not deep enough. Your mission is to break the dopamine monopoly of your imagination. Your brain needs to understand that a real, tangible result, no matter how tiny, provides more satisfaction than 1,000 flawless fantasies. The world doesn't need your untapped potential. It needs your imperfect solutions. Your inner genius has been a spectator for far too long. It's time to push them into the arena where mistakes aren't fatal, but are the only way to calibrate the system. If today we finally unlock the doors of your intellectual prison, subscribe. We are here to learn how to turn theory into practice and build a life that looks massive, not just in your head, but in reality. Ultimately, your intelligence is a tool, not your identity. The tragedy of many brilliant people is that they fell so deeply in love with the purity of their thoughts that they began to despise the messiness of real action. But the truth is, the world won't remember how complex your simulations were or how profound your unspoken theories felt. The world will only remember what you dared to drag out of your head and into the light of the real world. Your ability to foresee failure isn't a prophecy, it's just an algorithm you forgot to update. Stop being the smartest person in the empty room of your own expectations. Give yourself the luxury of being ridiculous, of making mistakes, and of being mediocre at the start. Because it's right there, in the chaos of real attempts, where the scale of life you've dreamed of actually lives. Real strength isn't the absence of the fear of failure. It's an intellect that understands that life only happens when you close the preparation tab and hit the start button. Take off the expert's mantle and put on the apprentice's uniform. It's time to turn your IQ into a story that can be seen, not just thought about. The world won't remember you for how grandiose your unspoken ideas were. It won't appreciate the depth of calculations that remained forever in your phone's notes. Ultimately, the only thing that matters is what you dared to bring into the spotlight, even at the risk of looking foolish. Your ability to predict failure is not a prophecy, it's an algorithm you neglected to update. Stop being the most talented ghost in your room. Strip off the mantle of the expert and put on the work clothes of the student. It's time to turn your IQ from a heavy burden into a story that can be witnessed, not just contemplated.